right, to the NFL we go. The Eagles blew out the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59, securing their second Lombardi in franchise history. Jalen Hurts was named Super Bowl MVP, but this season, Hurts will be without his offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, who took the head job in New Orleans. Ironically, that's where Super Bowl 59 was held. All right, y'all. So, Kevin, the question is, what teams do you view as the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC?
I'm going to rank them. I'm going to go Rams 1, Lions 2, and then there's probably a gap to the Packers. And obviously the Eagles are almost on a tier on their own just because of how stacked that roster is. We've gone through that over and over again. And we'll relitigate it in the next segment as well about Jalen Hurts and where he stands in the hierarchy because of that roster. But I look at this Rams team, and I look at the way – so I talked to Les Snead, their GM, in March, and he said it took 5 top 100 picks to replace Aaron Donald. And guess what? They did it. Yeah. They did it. And you're not going to get a one-to-one comparison with Aaron Donald. It's not going to happen. But as they say in Moneyball, you can rebuild him in aggregate. That means Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, all those guys along the front 7 who are getting genuine pressure. Jared Verse, Defensive Rookie of the Year. On the offensive side of the ball, we know what Matthew Stafford can do. We know what Puka Nacua can do. You add in Devontae Adams, who's had quarterback issues the last few years. He can still be a top 20 receiver. He can be maybe a top 5 number 2 option in this league. I love this team. I love the way McVay coaches. They're going to have a coaching advantage against any team in the NFC. Give me the Rams in that contest.
You want to go?
It's a group of 2 that are the most capable of beating Philly. And I would flip your 2 and 3. It's 1, the Rams, and then it's the Green Bay Packers over the Detroit Lions. This is what I'm going to say about Detroit. Absolutely love them. It was the most detailed coaching staff in the NFL last year for me. Many of those coaches are all gone. I'm not just pretending that doesn't matter. It's not just Ben Johnson, and it's not just Aaron Glenn.
Right.
There's been a significant depletion. While Dan Campbell's awesome, that matters. We've played on teams that had not great coaching staffs. It matters. You feel that. The second thing, and no one's talking about, Frank Ragnow retaring is
huge. It's a big deal.
Huge. He was the best center in football.
Okay.
And so when you take 20% of the best offensive line, and that's a big deal. And so that gives me a little bit of a reservation on Detroit as a whole. I'll also say third, who is Aiden Hutchinson post-injury? I hope Hutch is a monster coming off the leg injury and gets every dollar that he has earned and deserved. I don't know what it'll be like. I have no clue. Will he be the same dominant player that he was before? So those are 3 things. Green Bay for me is as good a roster as we have outside of Philly and in Los Angeles. I think Jordan Love's health and watching a little bit last year matters. The addition of the vertical speed with Matthew Golden. This is an offense that dropped the ball way too much last year. Unlikely to happen again. Talent galore. Jordan Love's health and allowing the consistent play, I think makes them bona fide contenders with the Los Angeles Rams.
I disagree. Sorry, go ahead.
Jump in.
No. Listen, I think for me, I'm going to go Rams 1.
Okay.
Lions 2. I'm going Minnesota 3.
Wow.
I don't hate that at all.
I know people like, J.J. McCarthy, first year.
I don't hate it at all.
I think J.J. McCarthy is going to come in and he's going to light it up.
Yep.
J.J. McCarthy is the prototypical type quarterback. He's tailor-made for what Kevin O'Connell wants to do. He's a timing, rhythm, underrated athlete at the quarterback position. Listen, you let Sam Darnold walk out the door. You don't just do that unless you're supremely confident that the guy that's coming is going to be just as good or better. And we all know about the personnel around in Minnesota. But for me, the Rams, look, they arguably, in my opinion, got the best young front 7 in football.
Okay, bet. Check the Rams. You guys all agree that the Rams are up first.
We all agree.
Your disagreement is where?
Well, I think the Packers are not ahead of the Lions. I think the Lions have a better roster. I disagree with you on that. I think that even with Ragnow's retirement, I think the Lions still have a better offensive line. And my cornerback, like you look at the cornerback room in Green Bay, that has to be solved before they're a real deal contender. If the Packers make the NFC title game, and I completely agree they could, it's because Jordan Love is fully healthy and plays a supernatural level of ball. I do think there's a pretty big talent gap. The Lions, by the way, Jared Goff is no slouch. He led the NFL in completion percentage beyond the sticks last year, okay? Yeah. He was driving the ball down the field. He got it. For the Vikings, I love everything they're doing. I'd rather put the Commanders ahead of the Vikings.
Come on, KC, talk to me.
You'd put the Commanders ahead of Minnesota.
I will.
That's my squad. Talk to me, KC.
Dude, if J.J. McCarthy plays average football, they'll go to the NFC title game.
Average?
I don't think that's the case.
Who's got a better offensive line, Washington or Minnesota?
But
Minnesota.
Who's got a better defensive line, Washington or Minnesota?
But what I'm saying is
Minnesota.
But what do culture-changing quarterbacks do?
They make it an appealing place to go play and give you a chance to win.
Yeah.
I love Washington. I love Jaden.
Talk to me nice, Dano.
He was ridiculous last year in the fourth quarter, trailing and on fourth down. Those are two things that usually you're not banking. 6 wins in the fourth quarter last year came from Jaden Daniels after trailing. They were the #1 team outside of Philly on fourth down. Those aren't necessarily things that were just like stamp on moving over. So just like Houston was ridiculous the year before with CJ, little reservation.
Who came into the league with the best fourth down mark when they were in the first year as a starter, and who had the best comeback record in the history of the sport? Patrick Mahomes did. Early, very early in his first 2 years. So if you say it's not replicable if it's some scrub doing it.
Brother, that Chiefs roster was a little bit different than
I agree. But Jaden Daniels was special last year.
Yeah.
They were able to augment the offensive line. They got Josh Connerly.
I love Jaden.
I just look at the infrastructure in Minnesota.
I agree. I love that team. I love that team.
If J.J. McCarthy is fine,
no,
they're winning 11 games, 12 games. If he's fine. It's the second best place in the NFL to play quarterback.
Go, quick. You about to say something about the Commanders?
No, I think the Commanders win 11, 12 games because of Jaden.
All right, as mentioned earlier, ESPN.com released a ranking of the NFL's top players on each position. Today, the top 10 quarterbacks were revealed, and to no surprise, Patrick Mahomes topped the list at #1. Last week, though, Kevin gave us his quarterback tiers with Mahomes in a category of his own, so we're going to take a look.
I'm going to start, however, with the Terminator tier, and that's one guy, and it's Patrick Mahomes. If you are not scared of Patrick Mahomes, it's because you've never played against Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow famously said a championship window is as long as he's in a city. That is correct. That's why he is elite. Josh Allen creates a championship window anywhere. Lamar Jackson creates a championship window anywhere. And Jaden Daniels creates a championship window anywhere. Great quarterbacks are the deodorant of a franchise. They solve every single problem. That's these guys and above. These guys are going to need a little help. C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott.
Okay. Well done, Casey.
Great list.
A fantastic list. I'm as high on Jaden Daniels as you are. But Dan, I know you've got thoughts. What do you got thoughts? I'm gonna go.
Dan is so mad.
First of all, deodorant doesn't fix everything. I've been around some people.
Oh,
all right, so here's my biggest issue. One, how is Stafford not in the elite group? Answer that.
Because I think that, so we talked a second ago. If you have these guys and you say, hey, offer to any of the GMs down here, these guys down here, their GMs become Uber drivers, drive to the airport, okay? So if Sean McVay gets the call, Jaden Daniels for Matthew Stafford, straight up right now, contracts don't matter. Sean McVay is going to fight through LAX traffic. He's going to get there and say, great seeing you, Matthew Stafford. Jaden Daniels is our quarterback right now.
Because one's 21 and one's
No, just from a play standpoint.
You're out of your mind, bro.
Like, to me, when I looked at this, first person I looked at, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, what are we talking about,
Matthew
man?
Stafford should be here.
Do you think, so my definition is these guys prop up a championship window wherever they go. So that means Cleveland. Matthew Stafford on Cleveland tomorrow, you're picking them to be a championship contender?
No, because he's 40.
What do we do? We're doing old time? What does that mean?
No, because the style of play matters.
But that's the definition.
Dude, you said championship window for any of these guys. He's the one who has one.
He had the Rams.
He has one. So how you're telling me that you're going to justify the explanation of, well, no matter where they go, it's championship window?
Yes.
But also have two cats that have one down there? And
no, they didn't create it themselves. Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl 2 years prior. Jared Goff had the championship window.
Kev, that Super Bowl run that he had.
Yes.
Give me a more clutch Super Bowl run.
No, we're not doing most clutch tiers. We're doing who props open the championship window. Matthew Stafford didn't have to do it because he went into an infrastructure and an offensive line and a weapons and a coaching staff that already had a championship window open.
So being clutch in the playoffs on an all-time run, anybody was doing it?
It is. You need the help to get into the championship window.
Every quarterback needs help.
Did Matthew Stafford open a championship window in Detroit?
Yes.
When?
his run when he was top 5 in the league, they just didn't. So you mean to tell me that we take Patrick and we say he's one of the greatest of all time, and he doesn't need help? Is that what we're trying to say?
What I'm saying is if Patrick Mahomes were drafted by the Jets in 2018, they would have made a Super Bowl by now. That is what I'm telling you.
Oh, I totally disagree with that. I mean, I totally disagree with that.
Yeah, like my whole thing, you talk about all these guys right here and above. If you just slap them on any team, that the championship window is just automatically open.
Right.
You made a good point. Like Matthew Stafford, if you put Matthew Stafford on a lot of these other teams that are kind of on the fringe, Matthew Stafford would automatically elevate those guys into a championship window.
Like, and to just dispute the kind of narrative around it, this cat threw for 40 touchdowns last year and didn't make the playoffs. He's one of 3 quarterbacks ever to do that, Marino and Breeze. They averaged 33 a game last year. They went 3-4 in those games that they scored 33 or more points. So while we can sit there and say gives you a championship window, that's the kind of the parallel of don't have him, become him. My second dispute is how do we not have Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff into this grouping as well?
They are. It was a long list. We didn't put everybody on here.
Okay, so they're in this grouping?
Baker and Goff are
They're in this
absolutely.
grouping.
I mentioned the Goff thing earlier. The highest completion percentage in the NFL beyond the sticks. Like, he is a stud.
I'm actually surprised that you have Baker in this grouping, considering what you said earlier in the show.
I said he's like the 12th best quarterback.
There's just a little bit of like.
I know, right?
I said he's like 2 down from 10.
You were making it seem like there was like on 2 different tiers between Baker and Justin Herbert.
Here's another question I have for you. Of these 4, how do they get into that group? Or can they not?
Well, first of all, that's a great question. I got it on Friday. That one of them needs to win a Super Bowl, obviously, and maybe a couple. Because, and we mentioned the gap closing a little bit. If Mahomes doesn't take a couple of steps forward and close the gap a little. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? If one of these guys win a Super Bowl, do they get there, or does it take like multiple seasons?
Well, did he go through Mahomes? Is there a belt? Does he have to give up the belt? Like, that's the question, right?
I think if one of them wins it, they get into the group.
Yes.
You don't pass them.
You don't pass.
You got to be the reason.
If Josh Allen beats Patrick Mahomes this year, it's going to be a 2-man tier. Okay? It's going to be a 2-man tier. Whichever of these guys.
Even with everything that Patrick Mahomes has done, if he beats him one time, then you put him in the tier.
Yeah. Because of the runs that Josh has gone on.
Let's go. Woo!
We just saw this franchise was a complete ghost ship. It was a complete disaster for 25 years.
You're going to bury yourself.
People were embarrassed.
Preach, Kevin.
Embarrassed to be Commanders fans.
Yes.
To be Washington football fans.
Yes, sir.
Since the late 90s.
Yes, sir.
He comes, he completely changes the franchise.
Yes, sir.
Completely changes the franchise, wins playoff games in year 1, and gets them into, I think, probably within top 4 contenders of the NFC already this year. Are you going to try to make the case that Matthew Stafford did that in Detroit? Are you gearing up for that?
No, Matthew Stafford didn't do that in Detroit.
Okay.
So you're telling me as a quarterback that if you go to a place that is desolate and you win playoff games, it puts you in a unique group?
No, I'm saying
where that Baker Mayfield's not up there.
I knew that was coming.
Baker Mayfield is, first of all, not there anymore. Second of all, they moved off of him.
Yeah.
He goes to 2 places, Carolina and Los Angeles. And by the way, he looked much better in Los Angeles than people thought. But it's a completely different. He did not. The next year, did Baker have them in legitimate Super Bowl contention?
Who, Tampa Bay?
No, Cleveland. You're talking about.
No, he was hurt.
I assume. No, I know he had should have signed that contract, by the way, but he had the shoulder injury that completely destabilized everything.
Right.
But the year after that playoff win, which, by the way, was completely, you had the COVID stuff. Like, it was a weird year. It was not like a normal year like last year, okay? Go ahead, Damien. Let me finish the point. I do not think that Baker Mayfield had the impact on Cleveland that Jaden Daniels had on the Commanders. I do not think that.
I mean, Jaden's season was significant, like not significantly, but it was special. The moments were so special. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, can we get to this guy right here?
Yes.
Can we get to this guy right here?
Yes.
We have this guy here with Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert.
It's fair, man. It's fair. It's a fair point.
If I'm an Eagles fan, I'm looking at this and like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
What have those guys done? What have these guys done?
Where would you
wait,
move? Would you move? Would you say Jalen Hurts props open a championship window anywhere?
I think it's
what does he need to do for the collective to get him the respect
I
to
think
put him around
it's disrespectful to not have him into that second tier. He's won a Super Bowl.
I agree.
And I'm the person who tells everybody it's the best place to play and it's a loaded roster. But I can't say that and then go, if I give you that as a general manager and you win it, I can't, like, I agree that there's probably like guys there. I like how you throw it better. All that. He's won, man. Like he's won.
Yeah, all right.
I mean,
Damien, let me just ask you.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman has offered any of these 5 players for Jalen Hurts straight up. Did you say no to any of them?
These 5?
We talking about these 5 right here?
Anybody's taking it.
Yeah.
Anybody's taking it.
Including Howie Roseman.
But I don't know. Like I don't know if Howie is going. Howie, we're going to offer you Dak Prescott or
no, but that's not the question. I'm just saying above the tiers
but
here.
But that's why I think he's got to be in tier 2, fella. That's all I'm saying. I don't think we put him in this group, but I do think.
But if if Howie Roseman would take any of these guys in a trade,
anybody would. But here's my thing, Kev. He's going to Hall of Fame. 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 And if he does it again a couple more times, like he's going to trend towards it too.
We're
not talking about
that's why the list is where it is.
Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say, Kev. Here's what I'm going to say. Okay, we talk about Philadelphia, like probably the best roster in the league.
Yeah,
no question.
We've talked about Baltimore, like probably like number 2.
It's a good point.
All he's done is
play his best when it mattered.
Goes to 2 Super Bowls, win 1, and is Super Bowl MVP.
It's a good point.
All right.
It's a good point. Go, Casey.
Okay, so a couple things on that. Number 1, NFC is easier than the AFC. AFC is a complete. It's like a UFC
zombie
division.
land.
Yeah, it's a complete. I mean, you have to get through each other. It's like the SEC versus the Big Ten, frankly. What we were talking about earlier in the conferences, where you're never going to see an SEC undefeated champion ever again because of the depth in that conference. You're seeing that with the AFC. Also, that's probably a point against Jaden Daniels as well, but we'll save that for another time. With Jalen Hurts, it goes to everything we were talking about in the first segment. Okay. Where you're talking about lowest drop rate in the league, you're talking about the best offensive line in the league, you're talking about an incredible defense. All of that goes into the context. I love Jalen Hurts. I love how much Eagles fans love Jalen Hurts. But the point is, if you're tiering it and you're saying Howie Roseman will take any of these guys in a 1-to-1 trade over Jalen Hurts, then that's how you do
Does he not have an incredible roster? Does he not have an incredible roster?
It's the best roster in the conference.